asking the Mrs. Fahandej from the Baha'i international community to begin her next speeches about the situation of Baha'is in Iran. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me here. Today I will speak about the, as was mentioned, situation of the Baha'is in Iran and their persecution. In September 2016, a 63-year-old Baha'i man by the name of Mr. Farhang Amiri was murdered outside his home in the city of Yazd, where his family had long resided. The two men who had come to his house the night before pretended to want to purchase his van. The next evening, they came back and asked for Mr. Amiri again. When he came to the door, they violently stabbed him multiple times. The two murderers, who were brothers, were found by local shopkeepers as they tried to run away and were delivered to the police. During their interrogations and court hearings, they admitted to having killed Mr. Amiri because he was a Baha'i. They claimed that his murder was in fact a pious deed, justified by verses of the Holy Quran. They showed no remorse and on the contrary appeared to be prepared to kill other Baha'is as well once they were released. Still, having heard this, the judge decided to release them on bail, and now they have been released recently. The story of Mr. Amiri casts light on many of the challenges and issues the Baha'is in Iran have been facing for almost 40 years. Firstly, the Baha'is are not officially recognized as a religious minority. The Constitution only recognizes the three religions of Christianity, Zoroastrianism, and Judaism as official minorities. Therefore, the Iranian Penal Code only makes mention of diya, or blood money, and qasas, retributive justice, for Muslims and adherents of these three recognized minorities, and in this way legally deprives Baha'is of the right to seek justice. It also encourages violence against them with impunity. Secondly, in the past 40 years, and especially in recent years, there has been a campaign of hateful propaganda against the Baha'is in the media and in religious sermons throughout the country. In the past few years, the number of news reports, articles, films, and other anti-Baha'i materials has increased in Iran. In a media analysis undertaken by the Baha'i international community between the years 2013 to 2016, over 20,000 such items were documented in the media. In addition, hundreds of religious speeches have been delivered across the country, warning the public against associating with Baha'is and encouraging hatred and violence against them. In the case of Mr. Amiri, we see the very disturbing impact of the extensive negative propaganda against the Baha'is in Iran that has been going on for over 40 years. The impunity that exists in Iran is the result of official government policy to treat the Baha'is, to quote from a government document, in such a way that their progress and development will be blocked. In the early years of the revolution, Baha'is were arrested, tortured, and over 200 of them were executed only because of their beliefs. In the second decade after the revolution, the government shifted its tactics to a more covert social, economic, and cultural restrictions. Today, Baha'is continue to be arbitrarily arrested, imprisoned, their properties are confiscated, their shops are sealed only because they choose to close them on their religious holy days, and perhaps in one of the worst forms of persecution, Baha'i youth are denied access to attend university, therefore being deprived of developing their skills and talents to use for both their own development and the development of their country. Further, Baha'is are denied the right to employment in the public sphere. Unfortunately, on the international stage, Iranian officials continue to deny the persecution of the Baha'is. However, the real motive of all the oppression against the Baha'is, whether veteran or new Baha'is, has now become evident. The officials are no longer able to deny that these acts of discrimination are solely because of their beliefs. What, for example, have Baha'i children done to be humiliated in schools? What crime have Iranian youth committed that they are denied the very simple right to study in university in their own country? What has any Baha'i done to deserve being arrested under baseless verdicts, to be subject to economic hardship because their shops are closed for no other reason than their faith? The Iranian officials can no longer find a plausible answer to why they are so apprehensive about the existence of a dynamic Baha'i community in Iran. The Baha'is in Iran are law-abiding citizens, and as they have shown over so many years of persecution, love their country and wish to stay in Iran and use their capacities to build and improve it. We hope that this coming year, the Iranian government will finally abide by its own promises of, as President Rouhani has said, creating a just society for all Iranians equally. Thank you.